Welcome to AI for You, the go-to podcast for higher ed professionals looking to integrate AI into their daily work. I'm your host, Brian Piper, the Director of Content Strategy and Assessment at the University of Rochester. Join me every other Thursday for practical uses of AI within higher education communications, marketing, and student engagement. We'll focus on ways to quickly integrate AI into your teams to increase your efficiency and effectiveness and help you optimize your workflows and processes. I'll interview experts and feature relevant use cases with the goal that every episode gives you at least one thing you can take away and start leveraging in your job today. AI for You is a part of the Enrollify Network, a robust collection of podcasts designed to help higher education professionals like you grow. Explore our other shows at enrollify.org. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com. Welcome to AI for You, where we are recording live from the HighEdWeb Annual Conference. We are joined here today with Tina Miller from Arizona State University. Hello, Tina.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. I was going to ask you to tell me about what's going on at ASU with AI, but I figure we don't have hours to talk. So I would like you to tell me one thing that's going on that you're really proud of or really excited about or thrilled with.
Sure. Well, I would start with thank you for having me on this show. It's really exciting. You are such a proponent of higher ed, and especially in content marketing. So all of us marketers and communicators appreciate that. As far as Arizona State University, we do have a partnership with OpenAI, which I'm sure your listeners and viewers have heard of them. And they came to us in January and said that they wanted to find a way to use ChatGPT to help higher ed, but they didn't exactly know how. And so we partnered with them to use ChatGPT in a series of proposals. So what we did was we launched an innovation challenge. Our first one was in February, and we've had 4 since then. But what it is we're focused on impact. So it's easy to give ChatGPT out to students or anybody and say, here, but at Arizona State University, we wanted to make sure we focused on impact. So to do that, we had 3 areas where faculty, staff, and researchers could submit proposals to use ChatGPT on projects. And they had to do with either teaching and student success, or learning success, research for societal impact, or the future of work and business operations. And so we opened up these challenges and we said, okay, if you can submit a proposal that meets one of those 3 buckets, then you can have access to a ChatGPT license for a semester, as long as you measure your outcomes at the end and then share it with us so that we can amplify that. So we just closed the last challenge last week. We've had over 500 proposals, and right now we have over 250 active projects at Arizona State University using ChatGPT.
Wow, that is fabulous. Now, how are you managing and monitoring? Are each of the individual people who got approved for those individually responsible for running those programs and reporting to you on those, or?
Yeah. So at the end of their projects, they have to submit a summary of how they used it, how many licenses they needed. We don't necessarily give out ChatGPT to our students because we have 181,000 students, and that would get a little pricey. So it depended on the project, but they do have to monitor the project and then at the end submit a summary. And I would say there were at least 20 projects or so that were launched earlier this year that needed extensions because their projects were so successful. They wanted to try it another semester. But again, it all comes back to impact. And so for us, if we're going to grant licenses, we want to see there's a return on that investment.
Yeah, that makes sense. So over 500 applications, you said?
500 and about 250, have been approved. A lot of them are in flight. Like, for example, one that we talk about a lot is a language buddy. So we had an assistant professor named Christiane Reeves, and she created a language buddy for her students that are studying German. And so she created this bot where the students could actually talk back and forth with the bot and make sure that they understood and comprehended German. And she had a lot of success with that. So now she's working on taking it to the intermediate level because the bot was originally like beginning German.
Right.
And so we see that can have, great applications, for other broader initiatives. Like, let's say you want to, use a bot if you're going to go to Germany or whatever, and how can you converse with it? Granted, for right now, it's just within her class. It's not something that other people can access. But that's what we're looking at, innovations around each corner of our university. Arizona State University has been the #1 university innovation for 9 years in a row now. And so for us, we like to do little innovation centers around the university. And so a lot of these projects might be able to be scaled to be used and, for wider audiences in our community.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you go through 500 different submissions to figure out what was going to make it and what wasn't?
Well, I would say we use ChatGPT, but that wouldn't be appropriate. No, so there's a team so I work for enterprise technology at Arizona State University, which is the IT division. And so we have a team called the AI Acceleration Team, and they reviewed all the proposals. We also collaborated with academic enterprise in the provost's office. So the academic enterprise at Arizona State University is all of the students and all of that. So we partnered with them. So between enterprise technology and academic enterprise, we reviewed all those proposals together.
Wow. Yeah. And what recommendations or suggestions do you have for institutions who may not have the resources that you have at ASU and are just trying to get started with integrating AI into their processes and workflows? Not necessarily on the academic side, but on the administrative side?
Well, I would say it starts with things like this, like, go to conferences, start networking. First and foremost, I think it's important to have a committee. I mean, that's what we started with a committee. We made sure we had digital trust guidelines in place and start out small. If you're still having to build a case for it, start out with your team, which is what I'll be talking about tomorrow, about why it's so important for leaders to adopt AI. So you just need one person who is excited and passionate about it, and then you'll just find other people that you can start working with. But it starts with literacy too. It starts with understanding what are the tools out there, because just going from tool to tool to tool is not really helpful. So it's evaluating what are the use cases that might have already been present for this tool, and then how would it make sense? Can you measure it? How would it make sense to bring it in to your own organization?
Well, that is amazing. I have a million other questions for you, and I'm excited that I'm going to have you back on the show for a full episode, and we'll dive into all of this deeper. But thank you so much for sharing today, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Brian. And make sure your listeners and viewers read your new book.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to another episode of AI for You. I hope you found at least one useful thing you can take away and start adding to your workflows and processes today. Remember, the key to making the most of AI is to keep experimenting, keep learning, and of course, keep creating. AI for You is a part of the Enrollify podcast network. If you like this podcast, chances are you'll like other Enrollify shows too. Our podcast network is growing by the month, and we've got a plethora of marketing, enrollment, and higher ed technology shows that are jam-packed with stories, ideas, and frameworks, all designed to empower you to become a better higher ed professional. Our shows help higher ed professionals find their next big idea and feature a selection of the industry's best as your hosts. Learn from Artis Kadu, Day Kibbles, Shane Baglini, and so many other of your favorite leaders in higher ed. Enrollify is made possible by Element 451, the next generation AI student engagement platform, helping institutions create meaningful and personalized interactions with students. Learn more at element451.com.